So I want to thank you all for being here. I'm U.S. Senator Tom Cotton. With me here is Dardanelle Mayor Jimmy Witt, as well as Judge Mark Thune from Yall County. I wanted to have Mayor Witt give a quick update on the state of the flooding given the levee breach south of Dardanelle. Mayor Witt.
Thank you, Senator. According to all the drone footage, the flow rates, the river crest, the breach in the levee, the water is coming in the backside of Dardanelle like we anticipated if there was a breach. What that means for Dardanelle, we have started a last-ditch effort to try and protect the southern borders of the city. We hope that will buy some time. I do not think it will hold the water, and then it's going to sweep on around. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, nor do I want to spread fear and panic. But it's imperative, if you live from Quay Street south, that you start making preparations and plans to possibly have to deal with water in or around your house. I'm not sure, nobody is sure how we're gonna, what levels we're gonna be dealing with, but I will update you as quickly as we can based on the data that's available to us. And so we'll be moving forward. We're meeting with the fire department separately now, the Mountain Patrol, National Guard, all parties involved, and we'll start the process to going door to door and have the sheet of paper to hand out on for what people need to do. So that's where we're at. It's been pretty positive. I've been pretty upbeat moving forward every day on our press releases. This is the part that we've been talking about mourning for. So we'll hold all questions till the end, and I appreciate it very much.
Out in the county, the breach has got a little wider. It's not much worse than it was, though. The water has slowed down a little bit. We have several roads closed, and county roads, and also some more state highway. State Highway 7 South is closed out of Dardanelle. We expect that to be for an extended period of time. We can't tell you how many days. We also have several roads east of Centerville, like if you were going to Petit Jean Mountain, which is a very popular tourist spot this time of year when school's out. That road, Highway 154, is closed, and several county roads around it are closed. Country Loop, Sweet Home, several others. If you're going down in that way, you'll be prepared to run into road closures. Also, we are looking at water backing up the creeks and tributaries off of Smiley Bayou. That's causing some issues. It's right at people's houses, and it is actually in a few houses and up under their decks and things like that, and it's getting deeper. Those folks have been warned. They are moving out. We have a area east of Centerville on Highway 154 that has now become an island. There's multiple homes in that area. They are aware, everyone knows, and some of the younger men that I've been in contact with from the farming community down there have their boats in place. They have vehicles outside of the area that they knew the water was going to get to up closer to Centerville. So they are able to get out if they need to get out, and Pinnacle EMS has been notified. They are aware that those men are there to assist them with some emergency situation, such as a emergency illness or something along those lines with the elderly. And also the Game and Fish is on standby for any additional personnel to be rescued or anything. And let's keep in mind that water will be slow water. It's not fast water, it's backwater. So we think we're on that, hopefully to protect our citizens there. Senator, you want?
Judge Thune, thank you, and Mayor Witt, thank you as well. Not just for the briefing, but for hosting me today and the briefings you gave me and my team, the tour as well. I want to thank not just the mayor and the judge, but all their hardworking men and women on their teams, as well as the hardworking men and women at the Arkansas Department of Emergency Management, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and all the volunteers we have, not just with the Red Cross at the local shelter, but all the volunteers who are helping out their neighbors and their friends all throughout Dardanelle, throughout Yall County, and really up and down the river valley. One thing that I would urge everyone watching is to listen to your local officials, whether it's Mayor Witt and Judge Thune here in Yall County, or your local judge and sheriff and mayor. from Sebastian County in western Arkansas all the way down to Deshay and Chico in southeastern Arkansas. This water is going to keep moving on. Unfortunately, it looks like we may have some more rain next week, so please listen to your local officials, heed their advice. If they issue an evacuation order, take that advice. You can replace your furniture, you can restore your home, but we can't replace your life. So follow what everyone is saying on social media, be alert, have a plan, and if necessary, evacuate because this is a truly historic flood. One thing that I want to add about the federal response here is that the President has already granted Governor Hutchinson's request for an emergency declaration. That is helpful to our state and to our local governments for emergency response, for helping mitigate some of the immediate threats of this water. Over the longer term though, it's going to take many months to rebuild. It wouldn't surprise me if we have more emergency declarations in the future that will unlock more federal resources for our families, our communities, our counties, and our state as well. And I'll be working very closely with not only the President, but also the relevant federal agencies like FEMA or the U.S. Department of Agriculture to ensure that Arkansans are being cared for. What I've seen over the last few days in Arkansas could be cause for despair, especially when you see this flood waters moving through a levee. But what I see from Arkansans gives signs for hope of a strong, resilient people coming together at a time of need. And I expect our government will have just as strong and vigorous and energetic as a response. Thank you all for being here. We can take questions now for those who might have questions.
Judge Throne, the population of the island, do we have an idea how many people are there?
25.
25.
Yeah, it's a small number. It's a farming community, but I mean, it is on the highway, so there are several homes down through there, and I'm just guessing. But you know, if you got water in your house and if you're only one in the county, it's still devastating. You're the one. So we're going to treat everybody equally.
Good.
Mayor, can I ask a question? You're talking about making a last-ditch effort to protect the southern edge of the city. I wonder if you could expand upon that. What exactly do you have in mind that you're going to do? What's the timetable on that? How many homes are affected in this area? What is the status of those homes right now?
We'll start backwards. Status of the homes right now are dry. The water is approximately 300 yards to 400 yards from us, and as Judge Stone stated, this is a creeping water situation. It's not like a rain runoff after a flash flood. We're almost completed with this project, to be honest with you. We started it at the back of the Dardanelle nursing home, which is located right on the edge of Highway 7. And we have built a temporary levee going to the Arkansas River levee and tying into that. And our thoughts are is if we can stop it right there, contain it, even for 6, 8, 10 hours, who knows, or maybe permanently. You know, that outcome is unknown, but there's a large area of people right there that's going to be impacted if this water keeps creeping that direction.
I know the estimate was around 350 homes yesterday. Has it risen or is it the same?
To be honest with you, Dardanelle is around 1,800 homes, and that's almost evenly split with Highway 7 right here. And so the estimate's going to be in the 700 to 800 homes, potentially to be impacted. Not guaranteeing that. It's just I have to plan for the future and prepare for that.
Let's see. Senator Cotton, you've been around the state for the past couple of days. Tell us, do you think that what you're seeing will eventually merit a disaster declaration?
Well, so the President granted the request that Governor Hutchinson made last week for what you might call a basic declaration. That's more about emergency response, about resources or personnel that our state and our local government may not have, or that may be overtaxed because of the extent of the flooding all along the Arkansas River. The next step would be what's known as a major disaster declaration. And that unlocks more federal resources for not only farmers, which already have some resources from the Department of Agriculture, but small businesses and even individual homeowners. Again, we can't know that for sure until the waters begin to recede and we can take stock of the damage. But it wouldn't surprise me if that kind of declaration will be warranted.
We've heard several people say that they're concerned about the levee near Wrightsville-Woodson area, as well as just Jefferson County and I guess specifically. Tell me, what's the concern there? What's the situation?
We have concerns about multiple levees up and down the river, and especially as you get into eastern Arkansas, some of those levees a little bit older, ground's a little bit flatter as well. So as these waters that we've seen here in Dardanelle or up the river all the way back up to Fort Smith, continue to move east. We have genuine concerns about those levees as well. We hope that they don't get breached. We hope that the water doesn't overtop them, in which case there's not much the levee can do to begin with. But one thing I would say to everyone that lives near the river over these next several days is please just listen to your local authorities and heed their counsel. Again, I know it might be inconvenient to move your furniture, to move out of your home, to move in with someone else, or go to a shelter for a few days. That's nothing compared to loss of human life if people don't heed the warnings of their local authorities and take their guidance.
I have one more. So the Army Corps of Engineers has said multiple times that one of the reasons this flood is so difficult to hold back is because the lock and dams were built to increase water flow during dry times. Is this a one-off situation, or is it something we should be preparing for again?
Well, it certainly is a historic flood. I don't think we've seen this level of water in Yell County ever, and that's true of many counties up and down the river. Once these waters recede, we're done with the immediate emergency response of trying to protect human life, protect property. I think we should take stock of the state of the McClellan Kerr navigation system and see if there are steps that need to be taken, whether it's with the lock and dams or with the levees, because something that may seem historic can always happen again. You never know when these kind of moments are going to occur.
Thank you.
So, Mayor, when you look around, we've been out in the neighborhoods just talking to folks who are sort of preparing and helping out. I mean, we've got 3-year-old kids filling sandbags and putting them in front of their neighbors' houses. I mean, as dire of a situation as this is, what do you think the response says about your town and the people that live here?
And it's Judge Stone, Senator Cotton, we all grew up here. They could answer that question just as well as I could. This is Dardanelle. This is what happens. I could literally put a Facebook message out right now, and within 30 minutes I could have 100 people. I believe I could ask them to dig a ditch from here to the river with a shovel, and they'd argue over the shovel. That's how much I believe in this town and volunteers.
Any last questions? Well, if not, I thank you all for coming and what you're doing to cover this historic flood and help spread the word of our local authorities. Thank you very much.
Thank you.